Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. When we think about learning English, we often focus on students. We think about their grades, their speaking ability, or how much vocabulary they know. But have you ever wondered what actually makes English learning effective? Is it the teaching methods, the technology, the teacher, or maybe the learning environment itself?
Kenapanya?
Hi everyone, I'm Najwa Safanur Fahimah and my last student ID number is 135. In this video, I review 10 articles related to English language teaching or ELT. Each article discusses a different aspect of teaching and learning English, and together they provide a better understanding of what makes English learning effective for students. Let's begin with teaching strategies and classroom innovation. The first article, written by Paraguay discusses innovative teaching strategies in EFL classrooms. The article argues that traditional teacher-centered learning is no longer sufficient for today's learners. Instead, students should actively participate through collaboration, project-based learning, problem-based learning, technology integration, and authentic assessment. One strength of this article is that it provides a broad overview of innovative teaching strategies by bringing together ideas from many previous studies. However, because it mainly relies on literature rather than direct classroom research, it provides limited evidence from real teaching situations. Even so, the article provides a useful starting point for understanding how English teaching is evolving. This discussion naturally connects to the second article by Nur Hidayat and colleagues. While Paraguay focuses on innovations in general, Nur Hidayat examines one important aspect of innovation: technology. The researchers found that technology can support communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and active participation. However, they also emphasize that technology alone does not guarantee successful learning. Teachers need the competence to use it effectively. What I found valuable about this article is its reminder that technology is a tool, not a solution by itself. The success of technology still depends on the teacher. The discussion becomes even more practical in Kumar's article. Rather than discussing broad innovations, Kumar focuses on the use of music and songs in English learning. The article explains that songs can help students improve pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, and listening skills. In addition, songs can reduce anxiety and create a more enjoyable classroom atmosphere. One thing I particularly liked about the article is that the strategy is simple and accessible. Teachers do not need expensive equipment or advanced technology to apply it. However, I felt that the article could have included more classroom examples to show how the strategy works in practice. Taken together, these three articles suggest that effective English teaching should be interactive, engaging, and centered on students' experiences. However, even the best teaching strategies depend on the people who implement them. This brings us to another important question. What makes a teacher effective? Pigel and Weil explored these questions by asking students directly. Their findings show that students value three main qualities in English teachers: linguistic knowledge, pedagogical skills, and socio-affective abilities. In other words, students want teachers who know English well, know how to take it effectively, and know how to build positive relationship with learners. One strength of this study is that it combines questionnaires and interview, allowing the researchers to gather both numerical data and personal perspective. However, because the study involved participants from only one university, the findings may not represent all EFL learners. Even so, the article highlights an important point. Teaching is not only about knowledge, but also about human connection. Once we understand what students expect from teachers, we can examine the decision teachers make inside the classroom. This is where Andriani and college contribute. Their study focuses on teaching media and how teachers choose the tools they use during lessons. The researchers identified four commonly used types of media. First is graphic media, video media, project media, and display media. What makes this study interesting is that the researchers combine classroom observation with interview. This allows them to compare what teachers actually did with what they said they were doing. The article concludes that media selection should always be based on students' needs, learning objectives, and classroom conditions. Another important classroom decisions involves teaching methods. This issue is explored by Kumar Stipa and college. Their study compares problem-based learning with traditional teaching methods. The findings indicate that many teachers view problem-based learning positively because it encourages communication, confidence, cooperation, and critical thinking. One strength of this study is its use of both interview and questionnaires, which provides a more balanced picture of the teacher's perception. However, the study only reflects teachers' views and doesn't include direct evidence from students, which could have strengthened the findings. Together, these three articles show that effective teaching depends not only on who teachers are, but also on the choices they make regarding media, methods, and classroom interactions. So far, we have focused mainly on what happens inside the classroom. However, English teaching today is influenced by broader issues such as technology, global communication, educational context, and student motivation. The first article in this final section is written by Morehouse, Conk, and Wan. Instead of studying classroom directly, the researchers analyzed technology reviews published in language teaching journals. They found that many reviews focus heavily on describing technological features while giving less attention to how teachers can actually use those tools in the classroom. One strength of this article is its use of a clear analytical framework which makes the evaluation systematic and trustworthy. However, the study only examined 5 journals, so the findings may not represent all technology reviews available to teachers. This article reminds us that teachers need practical guidance, not just information about technological itself. Next article by Aslan and Alpinkaya shifts the discussion from technology to language identity. The researchers examined how pre-service teachers' views of English changed after completing a global English course. Before the course, many participants believed that sounding like a native speaker should be the main goal. After the course, most participants developed a broader understanding of English as a global language used by people from diverse backgrounds. What I found particularly interesting is that the researchers included participants' own reflections, making the change in perspective easier to understand. The article encouraged future teachers to become more open-minded about different varieties of English. A similar idea of adapting English teachings to different contexts appears in Itria's article. The article discusses English language teaching in Islamic boarding schools in Indonesia. It highlights both opportunities and challenges, including limited facilities, learning environment, and the need to adapt teaching strategies to local contexts. One strength of this article is its broad discussion of ELT in a unique educational setting. However, because it is based mainly on previous literature, student perspectives are not directly represented. Even so, the article reminds us that successful teaching always depends on context. Finally, Lianga and Febrianto focus on one of the most important outcomes of teaching, student motivation. Their study investigated the relationship between teaching style and students' motivation to learn English. The findings show a strong relationship between the two. Students who view their teachers positively tended to have higher motivation, while those with negative perceptions often showed lower motivation. The findings are quite convincing because they clearly demonstrate the connection between teaching style and learner motivation. However, the study involved a relatively small number of participants, which limits the generalizability of the result. Despite this limitation, the article reinforced a message that has appeared throughout all 10 articles. Teachers have a significant influence on students' learning experiences. Looking back at all 10 articles, I noticed that they discuss different topics, but they all lead to the same message. Good English teaching is never just about teaching grammar, vocabulary, or completing a lesson plan. It is about creating an environment where students feel engaged, supported, and motivated to learn, whether through innovative teaching methods, effective technology use, appropriate media selection, strong teacher qualities, or an understanding of students' needs and learning context. Every article highlights the importance of putting learners at the center of the learning process. As a future English teacher, this article helped me realize that teaching is not simply about delivering knowledge. It is about continuously learning, reflecting, and adapting so that we can meet the needs of our students and help them grow with confidence. Maybe that's all for me. Thank you very much for your watching and for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.